5 underrated Filipino heroes you should know about. Number 1. Teresa Magbanua, known as the Joan of Arc of the Visayas, was a woman who defied all expectations, standing tall in a time when women were expected to stay silent and submissive. Imagine the chaos of the Philippine Revolution, with men wielding swords and guns, fighting for freedom. Yet amid the roaring battlefield, there was Teresa commanding her troops, fearless and unyielding. Born in Capiz in 1868, she could have led a quiet, comfortable life as a teacher, but her heart burned with the desire to fight for her people. When war broke out, she didn't hesitate. She traded her pen for a sword and joined the resistance, leading men into battle and earning their respect. Known for her fierce determination, she fought not one but 3 wars: the Philippine Revolution, the Philippine-American War, and even against Japanese forces during World War II. Her courage was unmatched, and her legacy is an inspiration, yet her name is often overlooked in history books. How did a simple woman rise to become one of the most formidable revolutionaries in Philippine history? Her story reminds us that bravery and leadership know no gender, and even in the darkest times, one person can ignite the flame of hope. Number 2. Josefa Llanes Escoda. Imagine being in the middle of World War II, where fear ruled and silence was safer than standing up, but not for Josefa Llanes Escoda. She was a woman who dared to defy oppression, even when the enemy's shadow loomed over the Philippines. Known as the Florence Nightingale of the Philippines, Josefa was more than a hero, she was a beacon of hope. As the founder of the Girl Scouts of the Philippines, her life could have been about nurturing and teaching young girls, but when war erupted, she transformed into a fearless resistance fighter. Smuggling food, medicine, and even messages to prisoners of war, she risked her life daily, knowing the cost of being caught. Yet she persisted, driven by an unshakable belief that freedom was worth every sacrifice. Tragically, she was captured and executed, her body never found, but her legacy lives on. How did a humble teacher become a symbol of bravery and compassion in the darkest chapter of history? Her story teaches us that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to fight for what is right, no matter the odds. Number 3. The 10th Battalion Combat Team. Imagine being sent to fight in a foreign land, thousands of miles from home, facing brutal winters, unfamiliar terrain, and an enemy determined to crush you. This was the reality for the 10th Battalion Combat Team BCT of the Philippines during the Korean War. In 1950, as part of the United Nations forces, this brave group of Filipino soldiers became the first combat team from the Philippines to fight in an international war under the Philippine Expeditionary Forces to Korea. These were not seasoned war veterans, many were young and untested, yet they carried the hopes of a nation with them. Despite the odds, they stood their ground, fighting in legendary battles like the Battle of Yultong, where they faced overwhelming Chinese forces but refused to retreat, earning respect and admiration worldwide. How did a small battalion from a tropical country endure the biting cold of Korea and emerge as heroes on the global stage? Their courage, discipline, and unwavering commitment to freedom remind us that true strength is not about size or power, but the will to fight for what is right, no matter the cost. Number 4. Mariano Ponce. Living in a time when speaking the truth could cost you your freedom or even your life. This was the world of Mariano Ponce, a man who risked everything to fight for Philippine independence. As a writer, doctor, and revolutionary, Ponce used his words as weapons against the Spanish colonizers, knowing the danger he faced. Alongside other patriots like Jose Rizal and Marcelo H. del Pilar, he helped ignite the Filipino spirit of revolution through the propaganda movement. His writings, published in La Solidaridad, exposed the injustices of Spanish rule and inspired countless Filipinos to join the fight for freedom. But Ponce wasn't just a man of words. He worked tirelessly behind the scenes, raising funds, smuggling resources, and forming alliances abroad. Forced into exile, he didn't waver, proving that the pen can indeed be mightier than the sword. How did a quiet intellectual become one of the most important figures in the fight for Philippine independence? Ponce's story is a reminder that even in the darkest times, Those who dare to speak out can change the course of history. Number 5. Rosa Sevilla Alvero. A world where women were expected to stay silent, uneducated, and in the shadows, Rosa Sevilla refused to accept such a fate. She rose above societal limits, becoming a trailblazer for women's education and empowerment in the Philippines. Born in 1879, Rosa saw firsthand how women were denied the chance to learn and grow, and it fueled her determination to change that. She founded the Instituto de Mujeres, the first school for women in the country, offering them the opportunity to gain knowledge and challenge the norms that held them back. But Rosa was more than an educator. She was a fierce nationalist, using her voice and pen to fight against Spanish and American colonization. She wrote fiery articles calling for freedom and even mobilized women during the Philippine-American War to care for soldiers and stand against oppression. How did one woman ignite such change in a society that tried to silence her? Rosa Sevilla's story is a testament to the power of courage and vision, proving that even in the darkest times, one voice can spark a revolution.